Oh! What is up, everybody? I'm John.
I'm Isaac.
And we are Cars and Cameras, and we are waiting on all kinds of parts for our cross kart project. But one thing I think we can work on is the rear suspension. So we've been mentioning for a while now that our plan is to do independent rear suspension on this go-kart. So what are we going to do, Ike?
We're going to rob it off of something we already have.
Yeah, so we're going to try to rob the axles and hubs out of a Mazda Miata that Ike has hanging around.
Yes.
So we're going to be making our own control arms, and we're going to be using Go Power Sports wheels and tires, Go Power Sports 4x4 hubs, and then also, thank you, Go Power Sports live axle kit, but the axles are going to be most likely from a Mazda Miata as long as we can get them to work. So let's go check them out. So we are out here at Ike's place. We are going to try to rob axles out of this junk Mazda Miata. We're going to pull it out of the weeds first. Do it, buddy. It looks bad.
Yeah.
How much did you pay for this thing?
It was a package deal. I bought this one and that blue one over there for $400 or something.
Okay. Wow, this thing is...
Oh, there's a snake skin.
rough. Oh yeah, look at that puppy. Nice.
Not sure where the rest of them is. Well, we have two axles.
Okay.
We have the spindle with brakes. We have a lower control arm, and we have a single upper. We got an A lower control arm and looks like a single upper.
So we like what we see here. So we're gonna go get a car trailer and rob the entire rear suspension off this thing, because we're gonna need a sway bar too. We might grab the front suspension while we're at it. Gonna run away. Oh no! Oh, nice. Good?
Yeah, we're good.
This thing is a pile.
It really is.
So we're back home, and it actually looks pretty simple to drop this subframe. We're looking at maybe 6 bolts, maybe 8.
No more than 8. Easy peasy.
And so that was the
E-brake cable.
the e-brake cable.
Yeah, it was probably no good anyways.
Not gonna need that.
Here we go. It was doing it most of the way, but I have to get there. That side's undone. This thing should want to drop out, but I got one more.
Oh! There it is.
Here we go.
Almost got away from you.
Nah, I had it. Who needs springs?
I know, right? So we can roll this thing inside.
Yes.
All right, buddy. So we got the chassis sitting there, and we got our subframe sitting there. I say we just weld it up, right?
Absolutely. Just like it is.
So, yeah, no. So how do you think we should start this? We don't have an engine, but we can kind of guesstimate the dimensions of it. So I drew on our board here kind of our rough idea of what we think the rear suspension is going to look like. We have our wheels. We have Go Power Sports live axle, disc brake, and sprocket there, welded or bolted to the Miata axles with the Miata hubs, etc. We have my buddy Coulter here, he was in a
What's up,
video
everyone?
a long time ago. We've been friends since we were like, I don't know, 10 years old, something like that. We go way back.
That was about last year, right?
Anyway, he drives a Mini Cooper, but we forgive him. He's all right. So he's going to be here this week helping me with the truck. Leave a thumbs up and let us know in the comments if you want a video.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Coulter's the best friend just because
He really is.
he's the only one who hangs around and helps me work on the truck.
Making me look bad, dude.
Sorry, bud.
But anyway, we're working on this today and probably tomorrow and the rest of the week we're going to be working on the pickup truck.
I think first things first, we put a jack underneath the lower control arm over here and we take this wheel off. And then we see, we're going to have to take the rotor and disc brake off and all that stuff. We're going to strip this side and we're going to try to see if that wheel will fit on the spindle assembly.
Okay.
It's not really a spindle, but it's a bearing
Hub, whatever. Yeah.
but you get the idea.
Oh, is it rusted onto the hub?
There you go.
Sweet. Can we just dream?
You can
Okay.
try.
Oh, nope. Okay.
It's going to be tight with this there, but
Yeah.
I'm hoping it'll clear.
Okay.
Watch your fingers. Alright. Now we just need to get this rotor off. There we go.
Not too bad.
Now, how am I going to get it off?
Hey, did you get massively sunburned from being on the side of the road earlier, Coulter?
Oh, yeah.
That sucks, dude.
Going for that tan, you know?
Sorry. His car had a blowout.
Dude,
Yeah.
Does it
Are we
work?
close?
it's real close.
Like, can we do a little bit of shaving on the hub?
I think we can just go.
Sweet. We can clean it up more later.
Yeah, just hit the grinder too.
That is no longer an issue, sir.
Nope. Not that part.
All right, so we've been running into all kinds of problems here. Mainly with just getting the wheels to fit on our spindles. So the original 8-inch wheels with our 16-inch tall tires, they look good on there. They actually, and the bolt pattern is actually like very, very close to fitting. So it looks pretty good sitting up there, but look at the lower control arm mount where it mounts to the spindle. We have maybe 2.5 inches between that mount, that pivot point, and the ground. So that means when we're riding through stuff, it's going to be catching the ground and getting beat up and all that stuff.
Getting us stuck.
Yes. So we were like, all right, we can grab these tires, wheels and tires from Go Power Sports that we got off the rail. It's a 10-inch tire, or 10-inch wheel. Overall, we're looking at like, what, an 18, 19-inch tire?
It's only 2 inches taller than the other wheel, which means we'll have an inch more clearance on the bottom.
Yeah, so we'd have 3.5 inches, which, you know, we could probably work with. Well, the lug pattern is different, and we can't even re-drill on the hub here. It's that far off. So what we're going to do is, right now, just forget all about the wheels and tires and worry about that later. We're going to mount the suspension on here, get it all set up on the chassis, and then if we need, just get a taller tire mounted on our 8-inch wheels. So, Ike and I are getting ready to pluck the engine on this CB750, and we figured now would be a good time to build a stand of some kind to put the chassis on so we can simulate ride height, we can level it. Should have done this when we started building the chassis, but we're doing it now, so it'll be fine. Ready to run to the store?
Yes, sir.
Here we go.
All right, dude, what we're going to do is we're going to get 2 pieces of wood, two 2x8s. One's going to be 2x8x8, and one's going to be 2x8x12. And we're going to box in underneath the OSB to make a firm, straight bottom for the frame to sit on top. See if we go.
So we have a 4 foot by 4 foot piece of OSB. The frame is 2 feet wide by 8 feet long, so we're gonna chop our OSB down the middle, and that's what we're gonna use to lay the chassis on. Who's ready for carpenters and cameras? All right, so our makeshift chassis table is done. No, it is not 100% level. The floor in this garage is not 100% level. It'll be fine. We'll give everything a good measure before we do any serious welding. So the next thing for us to do is to pull the 750 in the garage and pluck the engine so we can mock it up in the chassis. Can anybody guess how much this bike weighs dry? Time's up. 581 pounds. We decided that we have the 750 running well enough to go ahead and pluck it and use it on this go-kart. There is definitely some more fine-tuning we can do with the carburetor jets, but if we can't get it any more with the jets that we have by drilling them out, we can buy a jet kit. And I've read online that we should pick up anywhere between 5 to 10% more horsepower with proper jetting, intake pods, and a good exhaust. So we could be looking at as much as 75 horsepower. All right, dude, the engine's sitting in the frame, and we have our nice Go Power Sports racing seat sitting in the frame. You want to have a seat?
Sure. I'm gonna have to come forward. We're gonna have to put something in between us
Oh, totally.
and that exhaust, because it's gonna get hot. And boy, my head's right at that engine.
Yeah.
You know that valve cover gets hot.
Oh, yeah, yeah. We're going to need a cooling fan for that engine, too.
Well, yeah, we need to have some room for a fan. Maybe some side vents to
Duct air.
duct air to the front of the engine, because it's air cooled. We really need to focus on keeping this thing cool too.
Yes. Before we do anything else, we need to figure out where the engine is going to permanently sit. Now, we need plenty of room in between the rider, and we're using Ike because he's taller than I am, and the exhaust and the head, valve cover, etc., just because of heat. And we're going to need to fit some kind of cooling fan in there at the same time. We were thinking of adding some ducts, maybe in that little triangular piece, to duct air towards the engine to cool it off, but that's not going to help us in slow-moving situations, so that's why we need some kind of cooling fan.
We're going to remove this engine, and we're going to add a couple of more bars on the bottom, centered up 10 inches apart. And that'll allow us to add some flat bar going from the engine mounts to the bars, welded up, solid. So there will be 2 bottom motor mounts on those 10-inch space bars. And then we have engine mount here that I'm thinking can come up, tying in more to the top, and then another mount here tying in somewhere in the back here.
And we're also going to drop the engine about 2 inches beneath the bottom of the chassis, mainly for a lower center of gravity.
Yeah. Come my way. Exhaust. Gotta come my way. 1, 2, 3.
All right, so we cut some pieces of flat bar and drilled holes in them, and we're going to use those 4 as our bottom engine mounts. I have to say, it looks pretty darn good, buddy. before, the engine mounts are tacked up, so that means if we had the chassis totally welded together, we could lift it with the engine at the same time, which it's getting closer and closer every day, I think. The first stage of major welding is complete. Ike did the driver's side. Ike's over there playing around with our old American Express go-kart, because why not? It's a beautiful night. We were just gonna mess around and do a couple laps. But thank you for watching this episode, guys. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoyed the video today, and subscribe to Cars and Cameras for more updates on the grocery cross cart. Check out what we're up to in between videos, sneak peeks at Cars and Cameras Reviews on Facebook and Instagram. Do you have anything?
Check me out at Isaac, it'll be fine.
Thanks for watching, guys. GoPowersports.com, of course. We'll see you next time for the independent rear suspension.